Oh, welcome. No, you're right on time for your appointment. I'm just cleaning off my table a little bit here before we get started. Clearing out some of the energies from my last reading, you know. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Okay. That should do it. All right. So today, are we doing a Garf reading for you? Is that right? Good. Well, yeah, go ahead and set some intentions right now about, you know, what you need clarity on and some guidance on, and I'm going to just go ahead and get set up. Good. Well, now to get started, we will need to light the ceremonial orange taper candle. Now, these are imperative for a Garf reading because, you know, they have the lasagna essence to them. They have, you know, it's a color that really exudes confidence and helps with mental clarity and you know, straightforward guidance as well. So we'll do a couple of these. Good. Smells like lasagna. For a Garf reading, we're also going to need some Italian seasoning. Now, this will be sprinkled around our quartz crystal, which I think I've got. Yep, I got my quartz crystal right here. Let me take this out of the bag first. Good. And I'm going to just put that, I think, right up here. And we'll just get a good sprinkling of that Italian seasoning. great. Okay, and then most importantly, we're going to need our Garf deck, and you know, this is not a traditional, like a tarot reading, if you will, but when we are calling upon the Garfield Oracle, if you will, you're going to want to use the traditional Odie Maid deck. So, alright, and so what I want you to do is place your hand on these when I hand them over to you, and you know, either say it out loud or just to yourself the following phrase, and really try and have a focused moment where you're really putting your intentions into these cards. And I'm going to just do a brief shuffle before we get started. Okay. Alright, so take that and say, I call upon the wisdom of Garfield and friends, and the eternal power of lasagna, to share insights with clarity and humor. May the answers bring guidance, comfort, and a disdain for Mondays. Great. Now, we do need to get these shuffled. Now, I have just started doing Garf readings about 2.5 years ago, so I don't get many requests for them, so I may have to refer to some notes here and there as to how to read some of these cards. Most of them I have memorized, but it's just been a little while since I've done one of these. But it is kind of one of my favorite readings to do. I don't know why more folks don't ask for this more often. Okay, I'm going to place these on the quartz, balanced in the middle. Alright, so start to think about the question that you are hoping to formulate and want to ask the deck today. Okay, now go ahead and touch the deck. Oh, there you go. Oh, you want to know what your career life holds. Interesting. You know, let's just do a quick past, present, and future draw here. Past, the present, and the future. Oh, wow. Okay, we have facing in your direction the Odie Maid, the Space Mutt, and the mourning cat. Wow, this is a very interesting draw. Now, what we've got here is, you know, starting out, I would say, with the mourning cat. Now, this Garfield, as you can see through his expressions, he's grumpy. He's not excited to be up. He's, you know, still got his bunny slippers on, and his jammies. And, you know, he's in a period in his life, such as you at the moment, where you're having trouble getting going and you're not feeling very inspired in your day-to-day. Now, this is an instance where when that happens, you know, the mourning cat can kind of make you feel shut in, stuck, hard to find motivation to make that next move. But when it's faced in this direction, it's okay, because it is also a sense of cause and effect. So you are feeling this way right now in your career, is that correct? With mourning cat, you know, that's really a reflection, you know, in this orientation, straight on towards you, where, you know, that's a good moment of self-reflection to where you are realizing that something needs to change, right? And what that something is perhaps moving into the present where you're not exactly sure. So we have the reversed space mud. Now, just because it's reversed doesn't automatically mean you're not in outer space. Whereas, oh, let me see what reversed space mud means again. It's been a minute. Oh. Okay. I think that probably makes sense of why this is the present, because reverse space mud is showing a level of discouragement. So what is it that you're feeling discouraged about? Is it related to your current position and your current job? Yeah, you know, it's not a bad draw, because it's only going to really reinforce that it is, you know, you're discouraged in your current life, day-to-day career, that maybe this is showing you that you do need to have some reflection in order to know to take the next step, right? So space mud, in the space mud reverse, it's showing that, you know, you're feeling like there's some unhappiness there, right? But the fact that it's reversed is also showing that you're not blind to the fact that this is happening, because when it's in its you know, upright orientation, its standard, that means you're at outer space. You're not even thinking about it, right? You're not even acknowledging what needs to be done. So I feel like, you know, this reading, when we're looking at the reverse space mud, you recognize what needs to be done, where you have been, where you need to go, bringing us to a reversed Odie Maid. Now, I know it can be a little discouraging when you have an Odie Maid pulled, because you might think, oh, is this an instance where, you know, it's reversed? Oh, great, I'm not going to be an Odie Maid myself. But that's not how we interpret Odie Maid. No, it's actually showing, you know, similar to an empress, right? You've got the reverse Odie Maid, so you're having some of a creative block, right? And that's going to be carried out into the future, this creative block. So you need to figure out such a way in which that you can, you know, reflect on what you have been doing and how it's gotten you kind of down into a bit of a rut. Your head's not in outer space, but you are a little bit discouraged. Now, how do you get that creative block unblocked? I can't answer that with these cards. That's something where you're going to need to do some soul searching and some figuring out of a way in which to, you know, be able to get that fixed, right? Now, it can also be with the reverse Odie Maid. It can also be a sign of, you know, dependence on others. Does that resonate with you? Do you see where, you know, if you're going into the future where a dependence on others might hinder your progress in career? Yeah. So I actually feel pretty good about this reading. How do you feel about it? Did that answer the questions that you had about your career? Past, present, and future? Great. Okay. Well, good. I think we have time for at least one more reading here. While I get these shuffled, I want you to think about your next question, what you hope to get out of it, what, you know, where you're at, how you might have apply what you just learned about your career advice from the deck. And these are so hard to shuffle. And then, you know, how that's going to play into what your next question is as well. Okay. Let me just get these shuffled here. Oh, getting a little bit of Italian seasoning on the cards. It's okay if that happens, but you don't want to do that too much. Okay. Now, all right, now think about what you want to ask this time. And go ahead and put your hand on the card. We do need to call upon the cards again, so if you can repeat after me. I call upon the wisdom of Garfield and friends and the eternal power of lasagna to share insights with clarity and humor. May the answers bring guidance, comfort, and a disdain for Mondays. All right, go ahead and ask. How's the old love life? Okay, well, that is a loaded question that usually I would save for a longer appointment where we would do a 10-card draw. But how's the old love life? I could just give you a brief synopsis with a 3-card pull here. But let's see. Okay. Wildcat, Bad Cat, and the Odie Maid. Again, the reverse. Okay. Well, at first glance, this seems troubling, right? But, in fact, we are looking here at almost a system of patterns. Pattern recognition is going to be very important for this draw because the old love life bleeds into the new love life. You know what I mean? So, taking a look at this, the first thing that I'm seeing over here is you know, going from wildcat as the past. Now this is a reverse, or no, sorry. This is actually your only non-reverse card pull in this reading here. So what does that mean? What does wildcat mean reversed? Well, you know, when it's in its upright position, wildcat alludes to a sense of escapism and abandonment. So how does that resonate with you and your previous relationships? Have you abandoned them? Did you have a fear of commitment, perhaps? Or was it a situation where, you know, you didn't feel like you wanted to be abandoned, or you had a fear of that escapism? Which one is it? Was that you or your partner? Okay. So with a wildcat, when it's in its upright, you need to really take a moment to reflect on what this means for moving into your future relationships. Having a moment to reflect on the past, where, you know, you've got such a powerful figure, and perhaps this is not just in your love life, but in your broader life, where you've got a powerful figure and you've got that fear of abandonment, right? And that's an understandable issue and very common in most relationships. But when it's in its reverse, right, which this is not, you actually have more of an issue with temptation. So you, in a relationship, are stable. You resist temptation, and you know, you have some fears. You have maybe some trust issues in there, but in such a way that someone in a relationship with you can count on you and trust you. So that is the past. Moving into the present, we have a reverse bad cat. Now, with the reverse bad cat, you might be thinking, oh, great, it's reversed. Automatically, that's going to be a good thing, right? So, good cat. No, I'm afraid not, because the bad cat in its reverse really shows a sense of lack of closure and lack of completion. So, you know, think of this as almost the world, if you were looking at a traditional deck, right? So, with the bad cat in the reverse and your, you know, wild cat first part of the drawing, I'm seeing that there's probably a need for you to not wait much longer. And I don't know if it's reaching out to someone in your life where you need to have that closure. Is this from a relationship? Is it from a friendship? By doing that, you will have a sense of closure and then a way to be able to move on into the future, right? So, bad cat in itself, the completion, the closure, the ability to move on, the accomplishment, that hasn't been done, and that needs to be done in order to move on, right? So, you know, you've got abandonment. Who is the responsible for that? Get that closure, move on. But then what is it that we're moving on to? We've got a reverse Odie Maid. I don't know how you've pulled this basically Empress card twice now, but I think it's a good sign that it's in the reverse, because that means that, you know, you've got this dependence on others, okay? What is that about? How does that resonate with you? What does this dependence on others have to do with the abandonment issue and not getting closure? So, it would be wise to, you know, do what you need to do now about getting that closure, right? And then getting to a point where you feel like, I don't need to depend on anyone else. I can depend on me, right? I'm not going to abandon me, right? I'm not going to leave me hanging, right? You know, so you know, I wasn't sure about this reading at first, but I feel like the Garf deck has really spoken to some patterns that you've got in, you know, the way in which you react, depend on others, and how might you go about, you know, really being mindful of that moving forward. Okay. Well, this has been, you know, hopefully an informative reading for you. That will be $57, and if you want to make an appointment, we can get that set up now as well. Okay.